Hi, I'm Jonathan Feniak. I'm an attorney. I focus on asset protection and Corporate Transparency Act compliance. And wanted to bring you a quick update on the Top Cop Shop case that's been winding its way through the courts. There's been this ping-ponging back and forth between the Justice Department and the plaintiff in that case. So you can watch my earlier video where we talk about sort of where we were as of mid-December. Now what's happened is actually let me refresh you real quick. Case in federal district court in Texas. They put a nationwide injunction stopping enforcement, meaning you don't have to file reports. This is way back in early December. That was appealed to the Third Circuit. That's their intermediate appellate level court, just below the Supreme Court. And that intermediate appellate court said, no, we can't have a nationwide injunction on this. Let's pull the injunction and the case can proceed. But then the Fifth Circuit, very unusual, assembled what's called a merits panel and said, well, we're going to maintain the status quo, which is the nationwide injunction stands, and we're going to set up this briefing schedule to discuss this issue on the merits. The crazy part about that unusual part is the oral arguments for that isn't set until March 25th, which then the decision of the court would be months after that, potentially, of the full Fifth Circuit on this merits panel. That did not sit well with FinCEN. At that point in time, it was back off. So it was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. And now we go to the Department of Justice has appealed it now to the Supreme Court on an emergency basis to see if they will lift the stay on lift the nationwide injunction to see if it should be enforced. So we're in a waiting game a bit here. What the good news is that each time there's been this delay, that the FinCEN has tacked on additional days to comply. And so they're not putting you in a gotcha situation. I've talked about the Corporate Transparency Act before. It's not a gotcha. It's a willful standard. Don't willfully lie on your report. Try to get it in, do your best, and you're going to be just fine as long as you're not doing money laundering or any sort of crazy stuff, obviously. The thing and a reason for this follow-up video is I've seen companies that are charging for filing your Corporate Transparency Act, hundreds of dollars. I've had people talk to me and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know you guys did it for free. That's right. If you are a registered agent or formation client, you didn't have to form the company with us. Become our client. Let us be your registered agent of LLC attorney or any one of our sites. Then you get Corporate Transparency Act filing included for free. There's no charge for it. Initial reports and updated reports, we will do it for you. You need to supply us with the information, obviously, so we can submit that report for you, but we will submit those reports for free. Don't get caught paying for this by some other firm that this really should be standard. We focus on compliance. We don't want you to have to make a decision about whether you're going to be compliant or spend a couple of dollars, so we include Corporate Transparency Act filing for free. Those folks or those companies that are charging for Corporate Transparency Act filing, you may see if you do a search on Google, you'll see some company comes up with filing, file this, we'll file the form for you, whatever it is, we'll file your Corporate Transparency Act form. And a lot of those companies that I've seen just started. They don't have the expertise in this area. They're not attorney backed. One of the things that we have done, because we are attorney backed, we're attorney guided, our products are reviewed, assessed, produced with the assistance of attorneys, is that we have dug into this statute and the hundreds of pages that have been written about it by the FinCEN, by the direct agency that is going to be enforcing this thing. We have reviewed all of that material, and our guidance and our filing and our client portal has been designed to make sure it's done right. Easy companies, you got a single company, it's one member, it's one manager, easy to file a Corporate Transparency Act report. What happens when you've got a subsidiary company that's a partnership that's owned by a holding company that's a corporation with shareholders and a board that's then owned by a trust? Who has to report? we can help. We have attorneys you can schedule time with to talk to about your particular situation if it's more complicated. But for the average client as well, our systems have been designed to make sure that your reports are filed correctly and filed correctly the first time. So if you're being charged by someone who is not an expert, you're being charged at all for Corporate Transparency Act filing, you really need to come to our site, make us your registered agent, and we'll do it for free with the attorney expertise and backing, guiding the filing of those reports. Stay tuned for additional updates. We'll try to keep you updated as fast as this thing is moving. We're not going to do a video every week or every day on this because it could be fast moving, but we'll see how it goes. And we're obviously alerting all of our clients to what they need to be aware of. So stay tuned.